Okay, this is 5-6 for algebra, example number 2. So this is dealing with the graphing over intervals part of it. So graph the function f of x equals x squared plus x minus 4 over the interval -3 through 2. So just like we suggested in our first part of this, we're going to start off by making a table of values, x's and y's. And the numbers I'm going to put in are from the x's right here. -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Notice I didn't just use -3 and 2. I used all of the numbers in between that because that inequality says -3 is less than or equal to x, which is less than, which is less than 2. So that's saying all the x's between -3 and +2. And that's what we did. So now here we need to use our function to get the rest of our values, to get our y values, which again, you could be doing this by hand and you can plug each one of those x values in and get a y value, but again, work smarter, not harder. So x squared plus x squared plus x minus 4. Okay, second and table to get the table. So it looks like when I have an x value of -3, and just be careful not to write down the wrong values, go slow, take your time. X value of -3 has a y value of 2. So we goes -2, -4, -4, -4, 1 has a -2. And this pattern that you're seeing here is going to make a lot more sense in later units. Just one last double check to make sure I've got them all written down. Boom. Okay, so the last thing we need to pay attention to is if there are any open circles on our graph. And there are because of this inequality right here. That's saying less than 2, which means that at 2, let's be more specific, at x equals 2, there will be an open circle. And you will just see me, denote that. I'm going to come here to my table, and right here, I'm just going to circle this and say open circle. That will A, prevent me from forgetting, hopefully, and even if I do forget it, it'll maybe give me credit since I knew that it should be open and I just messed up. All right, so now let's plot these points. So -3, 2. -1, 2, 3, 1, 2. -2, -2. -1, -1, 2, 3, 4. And again, just go slow. 0, -4. 1, -2, and 2, +2. Oh, see, already, it's really, really easy to forget that at that 2, +2, I need to have an open circle, not a closed circle. And that's what an open circle looks like. So now, because of this restricted domain, which, so restricted domain, we're going to talk about that domain word later. Restricted domain means no arrows. It means we're not going past those x values of -3 and 2. We're just connecting the pieces that we have. So that's going to look something along the lines of that. And I can always double check myself. Actually, that's a really terrible graph. I should do it again. Don't be this crazy about it like I am. You do want to just make sure that it's nice and smooth, not like a V. And we can double check that because if we go to our graph, we'll see that our graph looks like the actual graph, which is great.